Really fun way of coming up with an interesting sound is by starting with something as basic as a sample here of a grand piano, Yamaha grand piano in Logic's EXS24 sampler can really be transformed into something quite different just by making some basic changes to it. Listen to this. So just some simple chords played on this piano sample sound like something completely different. Let me jump back to the starting point on this sample and you'll hear where this began. Right, just a grand piano. Now what I did was I just took the amplitude envelope, which is labeled over here as envelope number 2. You can do a lot just by changing the attack. So the piano is a very percussive instrument, arguably a percussion instrument, and just by losing some of that attack, you immediately transform the transient. I'm just gonna increase the levels here a little bit to make it a little more audible. And let's just see what this sounds like. So you can hear that piano timbre in there, but already it's approaching something quite different. Put a little bit of release on it like you would not have on a piano. If there's a sustained portion defined in the sample, you can sustain it indefinitely if you want. Can make for a really interesting texture that's familiar and organic in a way, but still quite different. Other simple changes you could make would be just to go to a cutoff filter and either use a low-pass filter that would darken the sound a bit, maybe add a little resonance. Maybe even use another envelope to shape the contour that's happening there. So let's say we come over here to where there's a filter cutoff already set up in the matrix, and instead of choosing our modulation wheel, choose one of our envelopes. So here's envelope 1 that's available, and let's add a little bit of attack to that, a little bit more of a decay, bring up our sustain level, and introduce a release that's similar to what we have over here in the amplitude. And let's hear what this does. So again, it's really transforming that sound into something that's quite different. We can hear the shaping here, a quick attack, but a long sweep of what's happening with our the position of the cutoff. We could intensify this in either a positive or negative direction shape of the wave of the envelope. So you get the idea. The possibilities are really endless. You could also play with a bandpass and how that impacts the resonance differently than what we might hear with a low-pass filter. So my recommendation would be to just bring up a basic sample set. It doesn't have to be a piano. It could be anything you want. And start manipulating just the volume envelope and see where you can get with that. And then let your mind, your creativity take you in whatever direction you think might be appropriate. Have some fun.